The 1978 Superman movie deserved a proper toy line, not just a one-off, overpriced, single action figures through the years. But finally, nearly 50 years later, from an inconspicuous toy company, Spin Master, we are getting 5 different characters for the Oscar-winning, trailblazing, greatest of all time superhero movie. Replacing the Batman Forever retro figures on pegs at Target, these action figures are a dream come true for collectors. Not only are they $7.99, $7.99! I'll revisit that later, but they are also 3 3/4 inch, making them to scale with your Star Wars, G.I. Joe, and if you were so lucky, the Universal Monsters. Yes, Mego had made the pocket superheroes, but let's be realistic, they sucked! And they weren't official Superman movie action figures, like this. When I saw this packaging, it reminded me straight out of the Star Wars action figures. Look at it, it's fantastic, it's great. The only thing we need is that character on the front for the Superman boxes. I understand, you pay for the likeness rights and then all of a sudden, the price just goes up. Looking at the price, the original price of $3.99, it's not far off from $7.99. And this is from 1983. Inflation has barely hit Superman. Taking a look at the packaging by itself, from top to bottom, you've got the DC classic symbol. Coming down, Superman the movie with nice clouds and a Superman symbol. Again, I wish we had something more than that, but I'd rather have it cost only $7.99. Then you've got a nice clear view of Superman and his accessory. And now on the back, you've got all the figures in this series that you can collect. 6, only 5 characters. And what I really appreciate is that it's not encumbered by all these legal stamps, all these legal quotes that are in several different languages. And the focus is on the action figures that you can collect. Now that we looked at the packaging, let's unbox it. And now that we have them out, let's smell them. That smells really, really good. I love the new toy smell from Spin Masters. Let's take a look at his accessory. And it's the chain with a piece of kryptonite that was put around Superman's neck and left to drown. It's nice flexible plastic. Watch out, because you might lose it. It's actually kind of thin. Feels pretty sturdy. This looks great. If we were in a time machine and we were in the 80s, this would have been the greatest action figure ever made. Until the superpowers came out in 1984. But this figure alone, as is, for $7.99, this is fantastic. The likeness on that head is not all that great. It does not look like Christopher Reeve. It just looks like Superman. The colors on the costume are really, really good. They're great. They pop. They're the colors that they should be. Now the underwear, it looks a little funny because it just kind of cuts off. It's not like painted on to cross over right here the way the superpowers had the underwear painted. The boots are great. And then the cape looks awesome with that Superman symbol on the back. But the fact that it's plastic kind of takes away some of that shine. And the way that it's connected as well. No kid is gonna lose this cape. But also, no kid is probably gonna run around for hours looking at the cape flap as he runs with his Superman in the backyard the way I did. Taking a look at the hand, you can see that some of the paint has kind of gone over, but they did a fantastic job on the eyes. It's just not blue dots. The hair looks great. Now I need to get the rest of the figures, and at $7.99, it's not gonna hurt at all. And it's gonna be a lot of fun, because I don't know how it was that I was able to find Superman and nobody else. Here are some of the toy brands that I mentioned earlier.
looking at the size, they're supposed to be 3 3/4 inches. Christopher Reeve was a very tall man. He was 6'3". And Luke, well, he was just a boy. Luke is just under 3 3/4 inches. Sci-Fi, 3 3/4 inches. Frankenstein's monster, he's just above 3 3/4 inches. And Superman, he's just above 4 inches. I gotta get the other action figures to see the size comparison on those. Now I can let this pass because Christopher Reeve was a very tall man. Seeing Luke Skywalker next to Superman like this, I think the height is perfect. This would have been epic for me as a little kid. I recently unboxed and reviewed this Pee Wee Herman by Super 7. Both of them are representing classic characters. Both of them have only 5 points of articulation. Both of them have just enough likeness to say, oh yeah, that is Superman. Oh yeah, that's Pee Wee. Why is this one worth $20 and this one $7.99? My final thoughts. $7.99 for this classic, endearing superstar. This is Superman. And you could get this action figure for $7.99. Spin Master has really just outdone themselves. They've done such a fantastic job. This is going to be so much fun collecting. And I'm not done with my final thoughts. Before I unboxed it, I took out some of my Super 7 action figures. These are some of my favorite reaction figures made by Super 7. I do have even more hanging on pegs. These figures only have 5 points of articulation and their likenesses are very minimal. The box art is great in representing their IP. The back of the box is pretty throwback as well. The appeal of these reaction figures is collecting action figures for classic IPs that never made it onto toy store shelves. Although Rocky did have action figures, they were hard to get. They only made 4 characters and they were really out of scale with the rest of your toys. I've enjoyed collecting these reaction figures by Super 7 because of their IPs. Heck, I've got a bunch of pegs up on my wall holding up these reaction figures because they're great to collect, except the price. At $20 on their website, plus shipping, plus they're now charging you for tariffs on figures that were already here. You got a problem, Super 7, because now Spin Master has jumped in the game, has made these figures really nice, very throwback, the same thing you're doing, but more than half the price. At $7.99, they are killing it. Just this Superman has really just blown my mind, and now I feel like I've been overpaying for all these figures for the last few years. Thank you, Spin Master, for changing the game. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and do not overpay on your toys. Till next time.
I really do hope you enjoyed this, and I really appreciate your support. Don't send me any money. I don't have any Patreon, so if you could, please just hit that like, hit that subscribe, and maybe share. If you can check out, maybe click this video, or maybe even click whatever that is right here. What is that? How did it get here? Bye!